Welcome to another episode of Business as Unusual, where we help you create your business as any other circumstance may provide. So I'm Ingrid Pika, and I'm very excited today to have a special guest with me. I've got Marla Cybul on. Marla is a specialist in the nursing field. She has extensive training thereout and actually does a lot of education. She also has additional training in the personal care side and has been working with many women and men and allowing them to improve their personal world. So I'd like to welcome you today, Marla. Thank you so much for coming on board.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can imagine that many people right now, they're cooped up, they're a little fearful, a little scared of things that are going on around the world. And it's always not just now when we have all this COVID crisis, but there are a lot of things that are coming up and will come up in the future. So from your perspective on self-care, what are some of the biggest challenges that we face in a situation like we are now in quarantine?
So of course, in quarantine, we have coronavirus that we're dealing with, but what if you're an essential worker? You have all of that added on top of what you already have. So essential workers are going to their jobs and then they're coming home to their family and having to deal with all of that is very important to them. They have to sometimes get undressed, shower, wash all their clothes, and then still have time to have a conversation with their family or not. They go in a room and they spend no time with them. That is a huge problem. What if you're an empty nester? I say myself, I was an empty nester, and all of a sudden, I'm not an empty nester anymore. So my niche was actually working with empty nesters, and now my empty nester became I'm nested again. So that leads right into the whole bill problem that comes with the situation we're in. People are working essential workers, or there are people who are working from home, and there are people who are unemployed. So we have a vast array of things that are happening to us that we have to deal with on an everyday basis. And for those of you who were empty nesters, let's call it, and you had kids that even went to school from K to 12, they still left the house for half of your day so you could do your thing. So now they're in your home and you have to teach them. So things have really changed about the way that we have to address our everyday lives and how we deal with all that. How do you teach new math to one of your children that you never learned before? That's been one of the biggest things I've heard from people is they can't do their math. So there's all that kind of stuff that you have to do. And your bills, paying your mortgage, paying your rent. I don't know about you guys, but my food bill went from, very little to a whole lot because my son is home now. He's 22, and so he could eat me out of house and home. And my daughter's home from a semester at sea, where Ingrid's daughter was also. And I have another daughter. Their girls are twins, and they're sophomores in college. She's still at Binghamton and not coming home until May. So it's that constant worry that she's living in her apartment with a roommate, but still that she's there and not here with me. And I'm sure all of you have that you have family in other places that you can't contact.
These are really good examples. I'm hearing not only stressors in finances, stressors in the workplace, but also stressors in the home and with the finances involved with each one of those components, certainly. So how does this stress affect our motivation or inspiration, whether it be on a personal side or in this case, a business component?
So what I have to tell you, and you may or may not like this as a person that's out there, but what you have to do, first things first, get up in the morning, because you know what? Normally you get up because you have to go to work or get this kids to school or whatever. I've talked to so many people that tell me, oh, I'm just sleeping in, I don't have time. No, that is not the answer. If you have to set an alarm, set an alarm. Get up in the morning. Make a morning routine. Make a whole day routine. You have to be in a routine. So get up, make your bed. You feel like you've accomplished something. Brush your teeth, get your shower. And then I always encourage people that they also can do the routine from Hal Elrod, which is the Savers. So in the Savers, the S is for silence. So do some meditation. If you don't like meditation, that's okay. Sit there quietly for a few minutes. And you don't have to do any of these for any length of time or all at one time. As long as you do a little bit of everything to get your day started on a positive note, make sure somewhere in there you have some gratitude. The second part is affirmations. You have to affirm yourself all the time because that makes you feel good. Some of my affirmations are, I am enough. I can do it. Watch me. Or I am figure outable. That's from Marie Forleo. Everything is figure outable. And from Marie Forleo. And that is true. We're in this situation. Somehow we have to figure it out. And it is figure outable. It's just not right this second necessarily. So you want to do the affirmations. Visualizations, I have a really hard time with. I'm still working so hard on that. Visualizing what? What you want to come into your life. Visualize your happy place. I can visualize my happy place, but I'm having some trouble still visualizing what I want in my life right at the moment. But practice makes perfect. E is for exercise. Some people love to exercise, some people hate to exercise. It's just how it is. So one thing that I didn't mention earlier is I have multiple sclerosis. So that is a challenge for me in terms of exercising and getting warm. And how can you do that? But you know what? There's still lots of things I can do. I also live in a place where it's been snowing, even yesterday and today. So I've had enough snow. But when it hasn't been snowing, and it actually has been sunny and nice out a few times in April, I go outside and I walk, and my son walks with me. We walk down the street. I go further every day. If I'm in the house, I literally walk laps, 6-minute laps, 12-minute laps, whatever it takes. In the morning when you wake up, even if you could stretch anything, you could go on YouTube, do anything, just so that your body is moving. And that's very important. R is for reading. A lot of people don't like to read. Quite honestly, when I read a book, I fall asleep. But guess what? There's Audible books. Let's get an Audible book and read. You only have to read a few minutes every day. You don't have to read in the morning. You could read 10 minutes before you go to bed, and maybe it'll help relax you and you can fall asleep. But reading is essential. Read something that's going to make you feel good, positive, learn something new. That's what reading is all about. And the last S is for scribing, which is actually journaling. So if you have a few minutes that you can, every morning, every night, whenever you have time, if you could just write down what your thoughts are, what you're going to do for today, what you want to do in the next week. There are so many different things that go into Savers that you can learn. So do that for yourself. It'll make you feel so good. It'll start your day on a positive note.
Those are great tips, and the Savers, I've heard it, and one that speaks to me. I mean, they're all, every single one of them has equal importance. I know in my routine in the mornings, I will have that silence moment as I'm drinking my chai and just looking around, and then I turn that to my scribe, and it is an affirmation within. And there are different ways to do it, but those key elements are such an impactful way to keep moving and reach the goals that we set for ourselves. Even the one as simple as make your bed. There's an entire commencement speech based on that topic. Make your bed. If you haven't had a chance to find it, Google it. It's one of the best talks too, and very inspirational. So we talk about self-care as an entirety, and I had to laugh. One of my other videos, someone made a comment about, wow, you don't look like you're quarantining. And I take that as a compliment, because we have to take care of ourselves, not only spiritually, physically, but also just on our taking care of us, even as appearances. What are your thoughts on that, Marla?
Well, I have huge thoughts on that because I am a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. So self-care is huge for me. And first things first, it doesn't just have to be for a female. It could be for the whole family, but it's important for you to take time for yourself in terms of self-care. And you can teach that to your family so all of them can have a routine around doing that. You should be washing your face every morning and every evening, getting all the dirt off, making your face a clean slate so that you can look as beautiful as you look today. That's what you want. And it's amazing. If we're stuck home all this time, why not? You can make yourself look by washing your face and doing the right things. In 4 weeks, you could look 20 years younger just from doing things like washing your face, taking care of yourself, not sitting out in the sun necessarily. Well, for me, it's hardly sunny, but for other people, you know, just being careful that you're not in the sun. That is just so important. In terms of self-care, other things that you have to do is, my goal for you is to make you feel important. Okay, so through Mary Kay, it's so important. When you feel good about yourself, you're going to feel important. You're going to feel special. And it's important every day for you to feel good about yourself. This is the power of positive thinking, taking care of yourself and staying positive all the time. That's what's really important. So people always also say, like, moisturizing their skin. Oh, I don't have to. I have oily skin. So not true. It doesn't matter if your skin's dry or oily. You always want to do self-care in terms of moisturization, because even when you have oily skin, you need to make sure it's getting the proper moisturization, which is a really good thing to know. And another big thing is always taking care of under your eyes. And people who are younger don't think they necessarily have to. But let me tell you, this is where the first signs of aging do happen, are under your eyes. And you get under eye dark circles. Like people now, especially with all this stress, are getting these huge circles under their eyes. No, we can help you with that so that you can learn to take care of yourself and feel really good about yourself. And that's what's really important.
And
So,
absolutely, we translate that to, sorry, I just wanted to add to this, and you may already want to do this, but as we add to that, when we look fatigued, that is going to impact how we act and present, and it's also going to greatly impact how a client or a customer is going to perceive us as the credible, efficient, and authentic, true vendor that they want to work with. So the appearance does matter in this component.
right. And tell me, how often has someone said to you, wow, you look really tired today? And when people say that to me, it makes me feel bad. I don't want to feel bad. So I want to make sure that I don't look tired, that I look awake and I can help you and I'm rip roaring and ready to go. So
great advice, Marla. So very quickly, what do you think are some of the 3 tips that we have that we can follow to make sure that we don't fatigue, tire, stay motivated? What are 3 take-homes?
3 take-homes that you can have to make sure that you stay motivated is do your morning routine. That is going to set yourself for the entire day. So that's the most important thing. Keep active, stay motivated by doing your morning routine. That's going to keep you going all the time. And if you're working, do your work, make a routine. If you're working at home, you want a routine. Do you go somewhere separate? You have to make a start time and an end time. It shouldn't be going all the time because you are going to get fatigued. And kind of sort of like set a bedtime, even though you're an adult now. Let's say, you know, really, do you want to say, I've stayed up way too late till midnight because I was watching a funny movie with my family. But then when I want to get up at 6 o'clock still, that has an impact. It makes you tired for the rest of the day. So you have to have start times and end times for everything that you're doing. And the other thing that I have to say is take advantage of this time. Take advantage of the time that you're at home, that you can re-energize yourself and think about doing something new. Like, is there something that you've ever wanted to do or learn? Go on YouTube University and learn something that you've always wanted to do. When is the next time that you're going to be stuck home for a length of time that you can have some freedom to do what you want?
Excellent advice. Marla, thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge on the medical and self-care components. If we have someone and when someone wants to reach out to you for more assistance and help, how would they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me through my Mary Kay website at www.marykay.com/mcybul, or shoot me an email at marlacybul@gmail.com. And I think that you're going to have those in the notes.
I will. Cybul, for those of you that are on audio links, is Cybul.
Correct.
So, great. Well, thank you all for joining us on another Business as Unusual episode. Please subscribe below so that you can get additional tips on how to move your business forward beyond expectations. Again, I'm Ingrid Pika. Thanks for joining.